Welcome to a special match day preview for Arsenal versus Manchester City. The apprentice versus the master. Who's going to come out on top?
Tough one, really tough one. Arsenal couldn't have asked for a better time to play City, coming off
I agree
the
with
good
you.
form they're in, especially at home. They haven't lost since the Chelsea game. Four
And
wins on the
actually,
trot.
they haven't
Uh,
conceded at home in their last 4 games too. So
yeah,
they're a pretty
yeah,
solid side at home.
exactly.
Whereas
But the problem is when you play City, form is irrelevant.
form is irrelevant, yes. Manchester City in their last 5 games have scored 19 goals. That's almost 4 goals a game. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous. And they've won their last 10 games. And bonus fact for you all, in the last 12 games versus Arsenal, Man City are unbeaten. And the
in
last nine,
in
Man
the
City have
Premier
all
League.
in the Premier League. And in the last nine, Man City have won every single one of them. So this promises to be one hell of a game because you have an Arsenal side in form versus the City side in form that historically is very good against his Arsenal side. So what do you think Mikel Arteta has to do to extinguish this City fire?
I think absorb the pressure as we saw teams like Southampton, Crystal Palace, Tottenham did. Tottenham, of course, did concede a lot of chances. They were lucky to not lose that day, but more like Crystal Palace and Southampton, what they did at the Etihad. Uh, I think you have to be ready to absorb the
Even
pressure, have
even
plenty of
Wolves
players with
Wolves to an
energy.
extent. Wolves
Yeah,
did well
goals
to an
to an
extent
extent.
against
Yeah,
City.
yeah, in that first half at least, you could say. Uh, so that is the blueprint. There is no other blueprint. uh, suffocate. We have to try and suffocate City if you are to play against them.
And
And you need Partey and Xhaka up for it. You need your attackers to commit defensively. And that's why we feel, I think,
I mean,
you need to play.
before that, there is one obvious loss in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who I believe his Arsenal career is coming to an end personally. But
Yeah,
I don't think Arteta is going to select him, so that leaves a void at striker. And here's where we spoke to each other right before we recorded, and we decided that Gabby Martinelli should play up front.
for this game. Yeah, for this game, because I think Lacazette coming off the bench would help improve it in case, if City score that one goal, and
Yeah,
then you need someone to hold up the ball because City will be looking to push back a little. Then Lacazette would be helpful, but until then, you're going to have to play on the counter, which is where while City are taking the game to you. So hence why we feel, and Smith Rowe has not started the last 5 games of so, if I remember. So I think you need Smith Rowe for this game to play out of the pressure, whether it's the passing or his dribbling, which is a massive
he's
asset.
he's
He's one of the
brilliant at
finest
carrying
on
the
the
ball.
ball.
Yep.
Yeah. So you need Smith or you need Odegaard, you need Martinelli who's going to run you the hard yards as well. Saka who can commit defensively. So I think that should be the attacking four. Smith Rowe, Odegaard. I think you will agree on this as well.
Smith Rowe,
Uh,
Odegaard, Saka, and Gabby.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree on
And
that.
it's going to be crucial that Tomiyasu is fit. Cedric can't keep up with Cancelo.
That's the key to beating City now, is to
Yeah.
stop the inverted fullback hyphen midfielder hyphen winger hyphen striker wherever he plays in the game.
So yeah, I mean, that's going to be crucial. You need Tomiyasu fit. Tomiyasu has been really good defensively. Even in the Liverpool game, he was really decent. We had a
He
good
was good on
60
Mane.
minutes.
He was good on Sancho.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
very good on Heung-min Son.
yeah. So that's going to be crucial. You need him.
Although Tomiyasu does have one weakness, I think it's a product of Arsenal, and I think if Arsenal tries to man mark City, then City is going to play them off the pitch because
Yeah, yeah.
Tomiyasu actually has the tendency to man mark, and sometimes that leaves a bit of space in behind. And if Cancelo can get Tomiyasu to mark him, then Foden's going to be on the run. So I think
But but
Arsenal
but
need.
but that's the thing with Arsenal's right side. Saka is good defensively, so he'll have to pitch in. The man marking is going to work. Remember the last team that tried to man mark City lost
Yeah.
7-0.
And the last game between City and Arsenal in the Premier League was Manchester City 5, Arsenal nil. Now, albeit Arsenal did get trashed, there's a caveat that Arsenal did have their full squad. They had a
Yeah,
COVID outbreak. The new signings were getting adjusted. So, and it was very early on in the season. Arsenal have been a much better team since then. One of
yeah,
the hardest teams to break down.
yeah. Especially when they're on the ball, they're very dangerous. They hurt you. So the thing is, Dwayne, the selection for of City is going to be crucial. So we've seen Bernardo Silva drop back a little with since KDB has arrived, and there's also the fixture overload.
Yep.
Will De Bruyne be dropped? Will Mahrez play? Will Gabriel Jesus play? Will Sterling be brought back in, which he does tend to do against the big teams? All that is there. What do you think?
Well, I know for one thing is that Jack Grealish will not play. I
Yeah,
don't think. I don't know why, but I think Pep's basically come out with this statement that just says that Grealish wasn't worth 100 million. I think it literally just screams Grealish
yeah.
hasn't fit into yet. I mean, there
He,
is potential that Grealish fits in the future, but for right now, he seems to be missing that link that City need.
the next day after signing Grealish, when he saw Messi was free, he must have just got depressed. So yeah, Grealish out. So Sterling.
I think Sterling will come in because Sterling's recently been, whenever Sterling has played recently, he's played at that false nine that Guardiola seems to love. And look, I always thought that Jesus was a striker and like Jesus should be playing as a striker, but he's reborn as a right winger. He's incredible. His work ethic, the way he recovers on, and the way he gets past his man, and his cross is becoming better. And I think
He has one of the highest expected assists in the season. I think he's the highest or
he's
second highest.
incredible. So I think we're going to see Jesus off the right, and I think we're going to see Sterling in the middle. That leaves who's going to play on the left. Is he going to bring
Foden.
in someone? Yeah, I think Foden is going to play because Foden's been on a tear. He's been really, really good. And he's been scoring goals, and majority of them have come from the left side where he can strike the ball across the keeper, which he tends to do.
Yeah.
Well, him and Greenwood on the similar levels of striking the ball. It's incredible. And I do see KDB being rested for this game because they played yesterday against Brentford, and that was a dueling, very tough game. So I think he's gonna
So
rest KDB.
so Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan,
Yeah,
with
Gundogan and
Jesus.
Rodri are shoo-ins.
Yeah.
Absolute shoo-ins. They're not getting dropped.
Cancelo,
Uh
Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Ederson.
Diaz and Laporte. I don't think he'll play Stones because Laporte's been on very, very good form recently. It's been surprising that he's playing really, really well, whereas last season he didn't get a whisker of playing time.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Your prediction, Dwayne, who's gonna win? Or
Well,
draw or lose?
the stats say Man City. The home form says Arsenal can nick a result, but form against City, is it really relevant? You have form against Manchester City. Are you going to go in there on 11 straight wins and then you have to play the best ball playing team in English history? So I just I like Arsenal. I really like Arteta. I rate him as a manager. I think he's done fantastic with what he's been given, but I just don't see them beating City because well, it's nothing against Arsenal. I just don't think any of the 19 teams could beat City. Like
Except Crystal
I think
Palace.
yeah. Except Palace, who always seem to beat City for some reason. I don't know. I think Roy Hodgson and Patrick Vieira have Pep Guardiola's number.
Yeah,
Guardiola, the greatest tactician in football history, can't beat Patrick Vieira and Roy Hodgson.
Crystal Palace.
Hot take.
So
But yeah, I think Arsenal won, City 2. I think it'll be a close game, a lot of chances. I think Ramsdale's going to have to work his ass off for Arsenal to be in the game.
mm,
And yeah, I do see City winning though. I think Arsenal's home form is great, but I think it's going to falter now.
yeah.
What
Uh,
about you? What do you think?
I think what we saw in something I saw in the FA Cup, I think 1 or 2 years back, Arteta can have the blueprint to Pep. He's worked with him, and coming off the form Arsenal are in, and not losing at home since the Chelsea game. I'm gonna say 2-2.
It's a bold assumption that a team is going to take points
Because
from City.
this fixture is gonna promise us goals, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fixture also promises a Man City win. They've won 9 straight games against Arsenal in the league.
But I think Arteta has got his sides sorted now. They don't look lost in
Fragile.
any
They don't look
games. Like
fragile at all in
they
games.
know what they're doing now.
I
So it's
think
all. I mean,
I think
for
he's
example,
playing for.
you take teams like United, Liverpool, Chelsea. You get the game taken to you a lot sometimes, and there's this phase where you don't know what you're doing. Under Arteta, you see that's not there anymore. It's not visible.
I think Liverpool have their blueprints. I think we can leave them off to this. I think even though
Yeah,
sometimes they get attacked, I think that's their plan is to try and hit them as soon as you can. I think
yeah.
as of late, Chelsea have struggled. They were my early season champions winners, but
I told you you shouldn't have.
I think now it's just becoming Man City. So I think it's almost set in stone that City are going to win the league.
Yeah, I think
I know it's
Arsenal.
very early.
I mean, you look at that gap. Arsenal are just. I think if they have a game in hand over Chelsea, and if they win that, they're only 4 points off Chelsea in
I
third.
think I think Arsenal has played more games because I know United have 2 games on hand on Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm talking with Arsenal and Chelsea.
Oh
So
yeah.
Arsenal the game in hand, they're 4 points off Chelsea. And the way Chelsea are now, if they keep this up, it's going to be Chelsea fighting for fourth place, not Arsenal.
I think that's a huge fourth place race. I mean, we've talked about that. But on the topic of Arsenal versus City, I think it's a bit too much to ask of Mikel Arteta right now. I mean, against big six teams
I
this
mean,
season, he's beaten Tottenham.
it's what we can hope for, isn't it?
Yeah, against the big six teams, he's lost to United, he's lost to Liverpool, he's lost to Chelsea, he lost to City, and he beat Tottenham.
It's
But
Tottenham.
yeah, as Frank Lampard said, 3-point lane. So yeah,
Mm.
I think this step is a bit too much for Arsenal right now. But I do see it being. I know for a fact that we may not know the correct score, but we both know it's going to be one hell of a game to watch. So make sure you definitely tune in.
It's the early kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the early kickoff.
Yeah, you don't back the early kickoff, do you?
I think the early kickoff, late kickoff. I think it's all City's kickoff anyway.
Mm. Okay, well,
That being said, we will see you tomorrow when we do our breakdown of Liverpool versus Chelsea. Another huge game.
it's not going to be needed because we all know what's going to happen. But
Yeah, Chelsea is gonna win 4-0.
yeah, I should beep that part. Whatever I said.
Okay, we'll see you all next time before
Bye.
Arteta gets depressed.
Yeah, I'm going to overthink now.